I think we're just a couple seconds away, folks, from jumping into the maps. We're going to head in game here relatively soon. Same format as usual. It's a best of 3, 5-minute rounds. The timer will stop after goals, and it'll be about a 20-second reset period to let players out of the gates once again. But the neutral joust is upon us, and it's looking like they're going to send Viatrex to the middle. He will take easy control, and it'll be them, Team Gravity. Let's start off with possession.
Oh, so a little bit missed pass back there. However, Synergy did make the fatal error at the beginning of the round. Oh, this looks like Synergy might be able to get the disc here, and this is an open goal. Looks like this could be an early shot, and yeah, it is going to be an early 2 points. So against the odds, Synergy able to come back there. I think it was a missed pass from Viatrex trying to pass back to Affentera, just unfortunate positioning. But what I don't know if you noticed there at the very beginning, what happened with Synergy actually went too early. So what can happen with that premature joust is that they can actually go a little bit too early, and if you do that, you just go face first into that door before it opens. And that just stops your joust completely. So we did see that from them, but they were able to recover that and get 2 points on the board.
Recovered quite nicely, too, only taking about 19 seconds off the clock to be able to score that, and taking great advantage upon the mistake that was made seemingly by the guys on Gravity there. So a good comeback for them. A great opportunity, of course, to set themselves ahead after an early mistake. And now we'll see if they can build on it. Of course, Gravity's going to start off with possession this time, so they can kind of build upon their mistakes from the last round there and hopefully be able to quickly respond to that. But in the meanwhile, we've got Affentera with possession. He's going to send it up the field into Boop's hands. Sent back down over to Affentera. He'll send it just right back over to Boop. Just going between the two of them right now as they slowly float their way up the field. Affentera is going to take it way up to the top of the arena. Goes over to Viatrex, who is waiting inside. And one more pass to Boop will sink it into the goal. The immediate response from Gravity for great passing rotation once again allows them to tie the game up.
Yeah, slow and steady wins the race there, and I think we clearly see a continuation of how they were playing towards the end of that last Ouroboros match. So obviously, like kind of taking that momentum and running with that in this game. But that, as you said, I mean, Synergy already got a great score already, and as you 19 seconds, you might as well have got possession of the disc at that point with the amount of time that it took. So Synergy going to be getting possession of the disc here, so it'll be really interesting to see how they deal with this initial joust. What they're going to go for. Looks like they're going for a relatively slow play. Gravity pushing up fast with a two-man stack, going for some quick passes from Synergy, trying to potentially get on this two-man stack. Affentera is going to be back in time to defend, but they are going to be, this is a 2v1 situation. Gravity might be able to get back in time. There's going to be a stray pass from Synergy, though, that is going to give Gravity the disc and possession for a clear and boost. This is a bit of a race, but Synergy is going to get there first.
Yeah, Maddie's going to win it by a large margin, so have easy control, be able to stack on top of each other as well here to get another quick pass down the field and hopefully maintain possession of the disc in the process. Works out perfectly. Nywok will pick it up once again. Oh no, but into the force field. It bounces off the back of it and sends it flying into the open. Our blue team, Team Gravity, is going to be able to recover it. Viatrex picks up the disc, sends it back down the side tube and into Synergy territory. But thankfully, they have the defensive matrix set up quite well, so they can send it right back to the side tube again, but so can Team Gravity as Viatrex takes it back one more time.
Yeah, Synergy doing a fantastic job with their two-man stack here. Like, that has been absolutely back-to-back, just running around the arena. A lot of kind of passing to themselves as well, if you've noticed, with the two-man stack. Pushing the disc ahead of them just far enough that they can get it again as they boost after it is a tactic that's starting to be used a little bit more in EU. It has some downsides, but that said, they do try and break off for a standard attacking play, and it looks like the entire of Synergy are going to be held up by Boop here. Gravity taking their time with this now. They want to play it slow. That's how they've been getting their goals. They're going to do that again now.
We've got another pass coming in there from Viatrex. Unfortunately, it's going to bounce, interrupted once more by Synergy. Nywok is going to be able to pick it up this time. Rodado Lego, he's going to move forward. Actually wanted to get a little bit greedy there, tried to go for the goal when Blue Team still had two players established. Unfortunately, they didn't have anyone else in a good position to pass to, so he decided to just go for it. Didn't work out, though. It's been set the other way, and this is probably going to be an open goal. He'll try to even go for the outside three-pointer, but nah, never mind. Right onto the inside. Let's just finish the round off quickly, pick up another 2 points, and take the lead.
Yeah, Synergy, that is the downside, basically, as you saw there. That is the downside of playing a really heavily stacking competition, because if you get someone on you and they stun out in the right way, that's you dead. That's you dead in the water. And especially if the other team has members free, they can punish that within seconds.
Absolutely. So Gravity are going to be able to take advantage upon that, push themselves ahead. We've just gone past the halfway point in the round here at under 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So still plenty of time with such a low-scoring match so far for Synergy to work their way back into it, especially when starting with dispossession. And Lego nearly going to get swiped out there as he starts out with dispossession, but he will be able to pass it forward. The problem is the pass ends up bouncing right over towards Affentera. He's going to be able to send it back over towards midfield here now. His teammates will be able to harass the forward players for Synergy to make sure that they maintain that possession.
Yeah, so waited to see, I think he was trying to wait to see if there was a defender baiting that, which it was. I think that was actually, I'm not sure exactly who that was, but someone on our team was actually waiting for the shot attempt. and doesn't end up coming through. Disc goes back into Gravity's side. They are going to be able to reclaim this. Yeah, and as you're seeing right now, Synergy, all 3 members being held up in their own half. That's what happens with the stacking situation, or the stacking strategy that they're going for. They need to try and keep away from that man, so they need to keep that 2-man stack free. They did it so well at the beginning of this game. The question is Gravity starting to adapt to that now? Yeah,
the other problem, too, is it's just going to waste a whole lot of time in the process here. They've got the 3-man stack back by the goal, but it doesn't matter. Viatrek still manages to sneak it past the defender into the top left corner. Yet another goal, another 2-pointer going by the way of Gravity as they soar up to 6 now against Synergy. Only a minute and 25 left.
Yeah, Gravity with the quick, snappy passes at different angles, making it really hard for that 2-man stack to turn on a dime and chase. Now, it's not saying that Synergy can't do that. They definitely can, but it's very hard to do, and it's very hard to do consistently, which you absolutely have to do. So it's interesting. I think Gravity are starting to adapt to their play, so it's going to be a question of, is Synergy going to kind of switch it up a little bit, maybe go for some slow passing play, or are they going to keep it up and try and get on top of Gravity?
There's the launch. It's going to be a little bit of a race between 2 members of Gravity, 1 from Synergy, but Gravity certainly comes out on top of it. Boop will take that possession. Not going to try to go for forward play just yet, though. Instead, passes it back to Viatrex, up to Affin, back over to Viatrex as they're trying once again to dodge this 2-man stack to the best of their capability.
Yeah, so Gravity doing an amazing job there of basically baiting Synergy in, basically crushing that 2-man stack with some short passes, then giving it to Boop on the side lane with an open goal, which you never want to happen. If anyone in Echo Arena can make that shot, it's Boop. So it's like a really bad situation to be in. So yeah, again, the 2 or 3 members from Synergy all getting baited into the same fight. It's like a little skirmish that's going on with just 1 member of Gravity, and Gravity just able to capitalize on the fact that they've got 2 people free.
This is multiple times that this has happened now as well, so it's becoming a very frustrating situation, I imagine, for Synergy, as they rely on this quite heavily. We were seeing this used, I think, earlier from them as well in previous weeks, and with them not being able to use this efficiently against Gravity, they've got to figure out, all right, what's our... Oh, no way!
I want to say that was intentional, because that looked like that bounce just went perfectly to him. Like, I think Gravity were shocked by that, because they saw the disc going, and as soon as you see that and it misses the first pass, you assume like it's just a straight disc, right? And usually you would just disperse to try and collect it. But clearly not, because that ended up right in Leo's hand. It takes the shot immediately, open goal, and just boom. And that's 3 points. So this is actually could put Synergy back into the game now.
Got 2 other robots like sitting next to him as well from Gravity's, who's under pressure too. Really great on the dime throw from Now, but great showing of skill right there. He's going to come right back at it now as he pushes himself down the field. Gravity get the juke on the first pass. They're going for the same thing here, just pass it back and forth. They even stun out 1 member of the 2-man stack, so they're able to destabilize it on that. Up the field now, trying to go for another long-range 3-pointer, but this time not as on point. The disc still loose currently, but now into the hands of Affin, who's going to send it away. So I think it's going to be in Gravity's best interest at this point to more than likely just waste time over any other priority.
Yeah, so looks like, I mean, Gravity don't need to pressure at this point. They're not even passing around. They're literally just holding onto the disc and saying, you've got to come to us, you've got to pressure. And looks like some passes going across goal. They're not going to like hide away from the goal. I think they're just taking the time. That said, Affin is literally just like, you've got to come pressure me.
It's like keep away.
Yeah.
So he's going to float away, and that means, obviously, guys, with the time differential at this point, make 1 more attempt to goal, but it's going to miss. Not a big deal, though. They still take round number 1 at 9-5, putting them up 1 in the series and 1 away from closing out against Synergy.
Yeah, I mean, some amazing goals there from both sides. Boop knocking in some threes. That beautiful setup from Synergy there. Now, again, I can't confirm whether or not that was intentional. It looked intentional based on how accurate that bounce was. And I know some teams have been doing some experimental bounce jousts, essentially, where they basically bounce it into positions that you wouldn't really expect, just to throw off the defenders a little bit. So, yeah, amazing shot from them. So, really close games, generally, and looks like we're going to go into the next one straight away. So, we're going to see Synergy going for they're both going for the premature joust. They're going for it really fast, so we should see 2 really fast jousts here. Can they make it this time?
Both going to start to move themselves forward here, right to the middle, and the winner of the race is seemingly going to be Team Gravity, but we'll wait a second here to see who ends up with real dispossession. Ends up going really deep here.
Oh, no, boom! Was that intentional? No. Was that off the sidewall? Because if that was off the sidewall, that was intentional.
I don't know, to be honest with you. It was.
Oh, we're going to see a replay of that, because anyone else, I would say no, but it's Boop, and it's a very good chance because he's known for his long-range wall bounce shots.
Yeah, the one up Nalwick, right? After we saw from him in the last round.
Boop's like, nah, I got this. Like that's not how you do this. This is how you do this.
So either way, great job by both Boop and Nalwick, who've hit some crazy opening shots today off of the joust. Boop's definitely starting the show off with a bang here in round number 2 to push Team Gravity ahead once again. Now we are going to see ec.lip.se be able to get control for Synergy at the start with them holding possession, but it's this two-man stack they have to get past on Gravity, which of course is established for them as well, just as prominently as we've seen from Synergy. The attempt to pass it is successful, but the two-man stack is able to get back quickly enough into a defensive position to regain possession. Boop's going to take it up the field now. Slow lurk from him. He's already floating through the mid-tube here. No interference being put onto him. He's going to be able to get incredibly close to the goal, in fact, before any interference is put onto him. Over to the side. Unfortunately, it's a little bit early to actually count as a pass towards his teammate, so they'll miss that. And now the disc will go back into ec.lip.se's hands.
Oh, no. But right into Athens' hands. He was waiting in the midfield for it, and it looks like Gravity might be able to get this. They're going to pressure for goal. Just taking his time. Boop's just like, yeah, I can take my time. Going to get the pass off. Oh, and a great save from Lillywik there. Oh, Gravity going through at 300 miles an hour, though. Is going to get there first, seemingly. Synergy going to have 3 members up. This is going to be really dangerous. The Synergy are going to get the disc. This is looking good. They should be able to get 2 points here, and they do. Matty locking it in. 2 points, answering to that 3 earlier. Just 2 minutes and 15 seconds on the clock. So, well, a minute and 15 seconds, sorry. So plenty of time left for a comeback from Synergy. And when I was taking a little bit longer to see the goals sunk in, Gravity scoring their 3-pointer in a relatively quick fashion, with Book being able to either intentionally or unintentionally steal that goal right from the beginning of the game. Only taking 12 seconds on the clock. This time we take about a minute and 10, so it takes a lot more time for Synergy to sink it, but only 1 point behind Gravity now. It's already a much closer affair than what we were seeing back in round number 1, where Gravity was able to cut ahead relatively quickly before the time really started ticking down that much. Yeah, I think we did a sort of great job there of actually Synergy using the same tactic Gravity's been using in the last round, the punching out the two-man stacks themselves on Gravity. So did see some interesting play there from them. That said, the brawl, honestly, I want to see the stun stats for this game because it is ridiculous at the moment. It is just like constant brawling left, right, and center. Both teams getting stuns, I mean, every couple of seconds here. It's just constant fighting. Oh, this looks like a good shot. Gravity going to be able to recover in time. Does not let that backball bounce happen and sink it. So this is going to be Gravity coming back with possession, going for a good pass into their own half, trying to get on top of the Synergy stack. Synergy do split up, though, which is a good position for Gravity to be in unless they miss the pass, which they do. So Matty's going to be going for a long-range clear here. Gravity going to have to try and retreat now. Oh, just misses it. Nearly not able to get the disc in time. This might make this a bit difficult. He's actually, no, sorry, his team is just doing work in the midfield. They are just saying, no, you are not leaving.
Easy goal right there. Just floats it right in. He's even able to hang out outside of the 3-point zone long enough to be able to establish another 3-point shot. And that's going to put his team ahead by 2 now, making up for Gravity's 3-pointer they stole from them at the beginning of the map. And now, of course, the 2-point advantage going their way. Gravity is going to get joust advantage once again. Here we saw how far that took them in the last round, though not very far. So a chance for Synergy to cut ahead once again and try to tie this series up at 1-1, as we've got just a little over half the round left.
Yeah, Synergy definitely not relying on their two-man stack as much now, and is paying off, I think. Like, they've adapted to how Gravity have adapted, and seemingly they're doing a great job with it. Some back passes coming out from Gravity here. Oh, and an unfortunate clear goes straight into the hands of Synergy. Synergy going to be getting with possession here. They're going for a shot straight on goal. This is looking good, and Lego locking in a 3-pointer from half court.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of like half court or more shots, and I think it's like the 3rd one we've seen in the last like 2 minutes of play, basically. It's been really interesting to see how many of these are actually working too, because of how forward some of these teams are playing.
Yeah, I mean, both these teams have members that have the capability of punishing you from anywhere around the arena. I mean, we mentioned Boop, but the exact same way, Lego, Matty, and Lily can all make those shots as well. Maybe not as consistently, but clearly when it matters, they're being able to do it. So it has been great to see both teams kind of not being afraid to take these long-range shots. We're going to see Gravity pushing up really fast here. Question is, it looks probably going to get back past to Athens. Oh no, he goes straight for a shot. Really aggressive early shot. So Gravity going to be setting up here, going for some quick passes, setting up for a 2, and Boop is going to lock that in. Kind of a standard pass play that we've seen so far.
Yeah, so Gravity making quick capitalization on that one. Once again, a very quick goal too, which is kind of what they need to see at this point. They're still a little bit further behind. They need at least 1 more goal, potentially 2, of course, to be able to tie things back up and then take the lead away from Synergy. So they need to keep as much time on the clock as possible, just in case Synergy tries to play the long game here and take a lot of that time off the clock just to win on that.
Yeah, it's something that is kind of widely debated at the moment about the kind of ethics of time wasting, because as we've seen in like World Finals and various kind of big major events, it's a tactic that happens, right? It's something that teams use, and there's been a lot of kind of debate around, should it be used? Like, is it just unsportsmanlike? My own opinion is that I feel like it's a legitimate tactic, and you need to have answers to it. And that said, we're having some really aggressive play here from Synergy, and they are going to lock in a goal. It looks like it deflects off of Athens, so it only ends up as a 2. Well, it would have been a 2 anyway.
Yeah, I think it was really close. So.
It wasn't that far off. So, but yeah, another 2 for Synergy, so putting a good 5-point lead ahead now. Yeah,
and this is a massive turnaround from what we saw in the last round, where Gravity was able to take control in the early game, and unfortunately we never really saw Energy bounce back too heavily, or Synergy, excuse me, never really bounced back too heavily. They were able to put up a good fight for sure. Ultimately it was still Gravity that kind of led the charge for round number 1. This time it's the opposite. It's Synergy really taking control of things, catching Gravity either with just a lone goalie or an open goal in a lot of these situations, and really able to cut ahead as a result of that.
Yeah, so we're seeing kind of, again, this kind of standard 2-man... Oh, it looks like a failed pass, but then stunning out and getting the disc back straight away. So not getting punished for that at all. So it looks like Gravity going to be moving up here for a standard 2-point. And yeah, Boop's just going to lock that in. Again, just another kind of standard moving up passing play from Gravity. Seems to be where they're getting most of their points this game.
Yeah, absolutely. But the problem is they're still giving Synergy disc control every time they trade back and forth, and it seems like Synergy is able to leverage that relatively easily into some type of goal. They've got to try to find a way to stop the early kind of joust momentum here that Synergy seems to be getting, which they're able to just trade these goals back and forth. Because obviously, if that's going to be the way this will be played out, Synergy will still ultimately keep an advantage, and they'll just keep going back and forth on goals here. So Gravity needs to try to find a way to interrupt that, and most importantly, get one more 3-pointer or so here. Able to take the lead back. Out on the field, Synergy takes possession, of course. Sends it over towards Nilewick, and we'll see it continue to pass around, but there's a great interception coming in right there from Viatrex. Steals it right out of their hands, sending it into Synergy's part of the court.
So miscommunication there between Viatrex and Boop. Not able to get the 2 months there. Oh, Athens just going to come in and deny that push. And he's just going to say, okay, we need 3 points. Okay, 3 points.
So casually as well as the players are continue.
It's just what he does. He just like wanders into the midfield, and you're like, okay, I'm going to clear it, and then it's just Athens either waiting for you in the midfield or he's on top of you.
I'm just so surprised at how successful these players have gotten with their long shots. I was like, for people out there who don't know, last time I casted Echo Arena was Oculus Connect 5. It's been a really long time since I jumped into it. I've noticed like since the last time I casted, teams have gotten way better.
It's like 90% conversion. Like people miss, it's surprising nowadays.
Yeah.
Like, and the real thing is the people that are taking the 3/4 court shots. Like that is where the difficulty is now, right? It's trying to go for these impossibly long shots. That said, teams are just all around are getting so much better this season. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen Echo Arena played as well as I am seeing, like we have seen this season. And games like this are just highlighting that. Oh, a super aggressive pressure there, trying to get the really early shot out. They do force it, but they don't. Oh, they do get possession back. Is this clear going to go through? Matty cannot collect it. Gravity going deep. This is a 1-by-1 race. And I can't tell who's winning. It looks like, okay, so Gravity are going to get this. They're going to go for the shot. Oh, dings off the side. And Synergy are going to get this this is really close.
Matty looks like he is able to get rid of it, but he's hitching a ride in the meanwhile, taking himself back over into Team Gravity's side of the arena. A bounce off the island, sends it up to the ceiling, into Viatrex's hands. It's going to be sent back over towards the midfield here. It'll bounce off the ceiling, though. Should stay in this half of the arena. Should be a member of Team Gravity getting it. Nope, maybe not. Boop's a little bit further away. He's going to try to get this opponent stunned out, but he looks like he's going to end up getting stunned out regardless. Possession finally picked up by one of these players. Viatrex takes it. Some 10 seconds left here. Still a tie game. Someone needs to score soon. Synergy going to try to throw it in, but it's going to miss completely. They've got maybe one more shot at it here. No way Gravity can make an attempt. They try to go for goal. No, the stun just stops a close range goal. And that means we are going to go to overtime, ladies and gentlemen. Clock will reset to 2 minutes. The next goal will win the round.
Viatrex coming out with a clutch stun at the last second there. If he had literally waited, if he had stayed in goal for that at all, they would have scored, because that would have been a slap straight into goal just as the buzzer went. So fantastic play for them. Going back to a joust now, question is, which team's going to get this? Looks like Synergy got a really strong initial joust. They are going to get it clear, but they are going to both get stunned out. Now the question is, once you get stunned out, you are immune for a certain amount of time. Now, what can they do with that? They does look like Gravity will get in possession. Going to go to Boop. Boop's going to go for the shot, and he gets it. So that will be Gravity locking in those 2 games.
So relatively quick overtime, but it is Gravity once again on the long shot. Boop as well, the long shot king, it seems, getting it done for his squad as they take it 13-10 in round number 2 and take a 2-0 overall match victory.